Back to the Nutrimedical Report, Clay and Iron Show, and we have, of course, two websites, Nutrimedical, NUTRImedical.com. Our order line, 888-212-8871. The other website is Clay and Iron, CLAYANDIRON.com. All the above government technology, spiritual, news and other items are over there, other than those that are dealing specifically with environment, like smart meters, toxicology, Fukushima, major news items like vaccines, forced vaccines, forms of vaccine medical assault syndrome, I call it. And, of course, we try to bring solutions to spiritual, geopolitical.
On the radio, you got to be quiet.
We got spiritual, geopolitical, and other answers for you. And one of the big answers that I've been waiting for years, because I saw the Liberty Dollar years ago. Yeah, Liberty Dollar. And
Liberty.
So it sounds like you're calling for Liberty. I can hear you in the background there, Pete. I think your daughter's name must be Liberty, right? So Pete Fettig is back. Pete, we got a call this morning from Arthur, who is an SEO internet marketer who listens to the show, has been listening for years. And he's, you can tell, is very competent at search engine optimization and internet marketing. He's really going to rock and roll on this. And his question was sources of YouTube, text, other materials for marketing and building the business. And let's talk about that and talk about why Carrot Bars is probably the really next big financial thing, not just for, right now Gold Savings Club, but transitioning to gold vendors that will actually provide services and goods around the world at the end of the year. And then eventually the electronic bartering system, which we're working on with full encryption technology with Professor McCanney, that is completely unbreakable, including by the NSA, no matter how much supercomputers they put on it. It changes the encryption system every single communication, so it's impossible to break. So let's talk about this, Pete. We have solutions. We have Carrot Bars, to me, is something that everybody should be doing, from the single mother to the millionaire, and people should start realizing we need to transition to a credit-based economy that has backing of gold. Tell us all about the marketing. What's available? I can't hear. Yeah. Let's see. I guess I don't. I can't hear him right now. If you go to the KP Vision directly under Carrot Bars, what you'll see is a link directly to a 10-point plan that tells you exactly how to sign up, get your package, then sign up and put up your KYC or know your customer documents, a separate sign up for the driver's license and for your other thing like a power bill or a cable bill to show you actually have a residence. Once those are approved, which takes 2 days, you will have then your own website and so on, and you can start marketing on your own website, mass email, contact your friends and neighbors. You can start rebuilding, and we will be placing people under you. So what you need to understand is we want you to get people to sign up and get a package.
Hello.
We do. Yeah, we've got Pete Fettig back. Yes, I can hear Pete. I can hear you. I heard you calling for Liberty earlier.
Hello.
I had assumed. Yeah, I can hear you, Pete.
Hello.
I think we need to reconnect Pete. I think he's somehow not connected correctly. Something's going on there. So let's see if we can reconnect Pete there. Yeah. So I think we will reconnect with him probably at the next break here. It looks like we're having some trouble technically. When he was calling for Liberty, which I assume is his daughter's name, we lost our connection there, and somehow, although my connection is good today after threatening to sue my local cable company and telling off the technicians, I guess I got some action here. We'll see. Otherwise, I got to get a dedicated fiber optic circuit so the noise won't go back down the circuit and cause packet loss and loss of my show, which I think is part of it. But we had a direct attack on our ISDN at the same time, previous times, which indicates that there were powers that be that don't want a lot of the messages that we give here on the network out. And to be honest with you, the government are powerless, because eventually if they shut down the internet, we'd be out about 6 months, and we'd be back up on an encrypted network. So there's no way to stop us. Don't even try it. In fact, the more you try, the more determined we get to actually we're going to have alternative systems of income, media for sending signals, and electronic encrypted guaranteed non-fraud voting, which Professor McCanney has a system already set up for that. So all of these things are coming. If you look at the bottom of that link, you'll see a video clip that talks about carrot bars. We also have many other links I'm going to be posting up on that page, as announcements page. It'll go directly off the link, so you can find it on the announcements page panel on the front page of Nutrimedical. You'll also find the KP Vision, which hyperlinks directly over there, so you'll see that as well. So we're going to be posting up more and more information, and if you have questions, you can always email or call us, 888-212-8871. Now, what Carrot Bars is doing in terms of marketing, we tell people, number one, everybody can save a gram of gold a month. Many of our people are actually trying to encourage themselves and their other people to save at least 1 gram a week, which is around $53. If they purchase a package which is a bronze, you can always upgrade. We tell people the higher your purchase, when you cycle, which means you get 50 units in one leg and 25 in the other, you're going to have a deposit in your MasterCard debit card in Germany every Friday evening, which would be early mornings here because it's done in Europe. And that means that if you'll be getting not only gold after a period of time free, because you'll have enough money in your electronic wallet to actually transfer and purchase gold, but we'll be having vendors take Carrot Bar currency at its face value, which means it's not going to be at the $35 an ounce value of gold. It'll be higher at or very close to the value of the Carrot Bar currency, which is around $53 per Carrot Bar card or Carrot Bar currency, which will be printed and coming out at the end of the year. There'll also be electronic vendors. So in other words, you'll be able to sell and buy in fractions of gold, and we are going to marry that system to an electronic kiosk system that is being manufactured right now in Colorado. That'll be placed not only across the country but around the world. That'll give you Carrot Bar cards, currency, and give you fractional reserve currency in multiple notes. Whether it's, if you're in Russia, it'll be rubles. If it's in Europe, it'll be euros, Deutschmark, etc. And what will happen is that people will be able to get fractional reserve currency exchanged or gold itself. Or they do bank transfers directly into their bank accounts anywhere in the world, and it's going to be fully encrypted, so it cannot be broken by any government agency anytime, anywhere. And we will have this mirrored servers, so that it won't be just a one server system that can be seized in a country. It'll be mirrored so that it'll be completely unbreakable by any government anywhere. This will be like, if you want to call it, the electronic version of Julian Assange and the release of all the information. And what we're going to do is the converse. We're going to create a whole new economic system, including credit, where when electronic Carrot Bars comes out next year, you'll actually be able to create credit to purchase other goods and services by providing your goods and services to the Carrot Bar network, where the other people will be able to buy and sell. And you don't have to have a complete exchange. You don't have to go into your dentist and give somebody chickens. You can sell your chickens locally and get credit. Get credit that you can purchase a product anywhere in the world on the Carrot Bar network. And that'll be pretty amazing. And that'll mean people will be able to start using alternative currencies to fractional reserve dollars. They can't be blown up, stolen as unsecured credit like the European Central Bank talked about taking 30% off the top of anybody's savings account in Greece over 10,000 euros, Greek euros that is, because each one has a denomination locally to their area of the European Union. And that's pretty vile, pretty evil, to say it's an unsecured investment, because it's not. And if they're going to steal people's pension funds and money, we need to start inventing this now, because the world economy is teetering. And the globalists, when they crash it, want to have total surveillance. They want to have a money system there where there's no physical cash anymore, where they eventually have biometrics, which is literally telling you, like the Bible said, the final economic system the globalists are going to try to foist on us is a mark of the beast system. Yeah, hi, Pete, we have you back.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, good. I guess something was happening with your Skype. I don't know what happened. I could hear you calling for Liberty. I assume that was not the Liberty Dollar, but probably your daughter.
That was my daughter, yes.
Keep our sense of humor here and keep moving forward. We'll be back in a minute with more from Pete Fettig and some marketing ideas from the guru. Back, and now that we have the real Pete, and you're not calling for the Liberty Dollar, but your daughter Liberty, 12-year-old. And so, here at Nutrimedical, people say, how come you guys are able to get all these solutions? Number one, we are saved. And the word saved means our soul is married to the Spirit and the will of the Most High God, because you can't remove sins, but God can. I tell people, you can't even forgive anybody. You have to ask God to come in you to allow you to forgive others even to forgive yourself. A lot of time people continue in bad behavior, whether it's drugs, alcohol, or other problems, or just not sticking to their diet so they don't end up going blind or developing renal failure because of their diabetic or anything. You basically hand it over to God. Well, the same thing with our finances. A lot of people think the policy is just stay with what you got to keep money in the bank, keep going to the stupid doctors that are killing you and your mother. They're giving you bisphosphonates, which will make your bones brittle, and so they try to even do a surgical thing and your bones shatter. They'll continue giving you drugs that will accelerate the deterioration of your vascular health in your brain. No, we tell you, we give you, because we're godly, the godly solutions to your body. I believe one of my favorite scriptures is, and the leaves of the tree are for the healing of the nations. I believe there's a biological molecule out there somewhere in the world to heal every illness. I believe also God gives ideas in times like these, like he did to the ancient peoples of Israel with Moses, to lead them out of the desert, through the desert, away from Egypt during a time of destruction. And the thing is, we're at the same point. We're in a modern Sodom and Egypt here, not only in America, but around the world. Every country on earth is being shoved literally down their throat and through their bodies, switching mode power supply, radiation, cell phones, which clearly are dangerous at high radiation levels, so people are sticking on the side of their head. They're still putting money in the bank when they can see their value of their money, even if they deposit and don't take it out, is disappearing at anywhere from 2 to 5% per year in the West. And in many other countries, it's dropping considerably faster than that. And I think the first major, we call real spasms, are going to occur within 90 days. So people need to start realizing, if you're not saving gold, and we're not just talking about gold in terms of coins and silver, which I tell people, save anything you can that's barterable. Like gold and silver coins. Ted Anderson still owns Midas Resources. People can still get a still or start growing a crop or buying Nutrimeds like flax and Nutriodine to use as a barterable item during the time of troubles. But guess what? The best thing to have is you have to have a way of having an exchange system. And in ancient times, they had the tally stick, they had gold and silver and copper coins, all kinds of different systems. But what we're talking about now is a completely different system. When you start saving gold, number one, as carrot bar currency, it's going to transition to an actual exchangeable currency used by vendors at the end of this year. It's also going to be an alternative to fractional reserve currency, so it means that we're going to have a whole new system where we can actually create credit and a barterable currency for people to buy and sell with the electronic carrot bars bartering system. So there's so many advantages to this. This is, I'm sure, and people say, well, aren't you afraid they're going to come after you? Look, I have the protection of the Most High God, plus I have an extremely bad attitude. I am not like Dr. Bartlett. There won't be 2 bullets in my chest. There'll be a whole lot of bullets going through body armor of idiots that think they're going to come to my home and harm me and my family. Because I train with the Marines and I have armor-piercing weapons. And I say that on the radio, which stopped any death threats I had about 2.5, 3 years ago, cold in their tracks, because I have techie friends who will find your IP address and send to local authorities, and I have, like Predator, I have the Spirit of the Most High will tell me somebody's coming to harm me, and I will kill them so quick they won't know they had the next heartbeat. Now, that's called a Joshua Christian, which means I'm your best friend and big brother, to save humanity from itself, from inaction. And inaction on the financial front means you literally could see in the next few years the entire Western and Eastern world's economic system collapse to the point where people can't afford to even feed themselves, let alone buy gasoline. And people think that can't happen. That's the globalist plan. If we don't develop an alternative economic system, the war is devastation, revolution, and nuclear, biological, chemical, and scalar war. That's it. That's called the end of humanity. And people need to realize part of the solution is to get out of the medical system, to take care of your health, to start dealing with real toxicology, which is why we beat up on big people like Pepsi-Cola so they no longer can put aspartame in their drinks. But then they sneak in Splenda thinking they're going to get away with that. Well, guess what? We'll beat you up some more until eventually you decide to put in things that are not toxic. And the same with the general genetic modified food industry. We have let's put it this way. We've got genetically modified money industry that's been going on for centuries. And people need to wean themselves off it, don't they, Pete?
That's absolutely right. And when we first started doing shows together here, one of the things I was saying is number one, we need to get our money out of banks, brokerages, and like-minded government-influenced institutions. But
right. It doesn't matter if
you're an investment or anything else.
Right.
And I don't mean that necessarily 100%, but certainly.
Well, you need enough to operate
your drawing interest and can be manipulated.
Well, my formula,
like the dollar.
What my formula I tell people is have enough money to run your business and have cash flow. And that's
right.
it. Because, and whether or not, and I tell people, I said, you don't need to put all your money into Carrot Bars, but I put more and more because it's going to expand. In the past, what people do is I bought a lot of gold and silver, which we used even to buy our home here 7 years ago. And I bought it when it was like, $200 or whatever an ounce. So when I sold it to buy the home 7 years ago, it had appreciated something like, 600%. So when people say, well, why would you buy gold? I say, well, the first thing is gold, the paper gold, has purposely been put down. If you actually looked at what gold price should be today on the open market because they're pushing down the paper gold, it should probably be around $30,000 an ounce. $30,000 an ounce. Because the dollar is basically worthless and it's the best of all the international currencies. Other currencies like the ruble has dropped in less than half in a year. The renminbi, the yuan is being shoved down, even though they have this giant manufacturing industry. They had to put 100,000 warehouses up in the last 5 years to store the stuff they can't sell to us because we can't buy it. The middle class is squeaking by, from paycheck to paycheck. And, of course, Obama continues to, promise $13 billion for the smart grid system to shove more increases. And as it says in this January 19th, 2008, well, cap and trade is, of course, going to skyrocket the price of, energy. And he looks at you with a blank face, with those big purple lips. I'm thinking, son of a, you know what? What are you doing? You're putting the screws to the American public, and it's not just here, it's all around the world. I have contacts in Ireland, Scotland, everything. But the same with the financial system. Do people realize just how close we are to disaster? And I can tell you the actions of Obama and these other characters, they want war that's going to cause economic chaos. They want the war games to go on the Russian and European border to really push things. They want a war, an air campaign in Syria to kill world currencies, because now they're ready to pull at the next stop is they have their solution to the problem, which is biometric currency, where they have total control and it's all in their supercomputer. And if you don't want the mark of the beast, you better start getting on side. Get Carrot Bars, move forward, save your money, get ready for bartering. Realize, for Arthur, for all those people out there listening, and I posted up the links. We have several links that we actually have on the website that people can look at. If you go to KP Vision, underneath the associates on the right front page of Nutrimedical, you'll see KP Vision, Carrot Bar Vision. You hit that link and it shows below the 10-point plan. It says learn about the Carrot Bars websites, and we have learnaboutcarrotbars.com, which we had posted up already. Then carrotgroupteam.com, which I just posted up, and carrotbarsevents.com. Tell us about these other websites, because it tells people about the business, marketing, what other people are doing, how to do it, how to build your business, and this is just what I call phase one of the business, which is Carrot Bars building a network, inspiring other people to purchase packages and do a regular auto purchase weekly or monthly for gold as the Carrot Bar currency. And then, of course, it's going to transition to the Carrot Bar vendors that will actually take Carrot Bar currency as payment, and to Carrot Bar bartering, which is going to be really amazing because people actually can create credit, which means they're going to actually have exchangeable value by employing themselves. So people that were saying, I'm unemployed. No, you don't need to be unemployed anymore. If you have a skill set, you can actually create employment for yourself and credit on the system next year once we get this going.
Amen. Well, you mentioned some of the websites, and just let me say, first of all, there is now so much out there online for anybody that is willing to do it, to have really no excuse to fail at building their Carrot Bars business.
Right.
It's almost literally overwhelming. I can't even keep up with all of it. But we have an unofficial training site, which is the carrotgroupteam.com site. There you're going to find everything from tools to archived webinars to archived phone calls to other places you can go for daily or weekly webinars and training calls that you can ask questions on and learn more in real time. We have twice per day live webinars that you can invite people to. That's carrotbarswebinar.com. That's with plural, carrotbarswebinar.com.
Just a second, I'm going to get that one up too. I'll put carrotbarswebinar.com. carrotbarswebinar.com.
And that's at 12 noon and 9 p.m. Eastern, so adjust for your time zone. And all the login instructions and so forth are right there when you try to go to carrotbarswebinar.com. I would suggest using the Google Chrome browser for that one. It just seems to be working better. That's been using the AnyMeeting platform. And so that's a live thing. It typically goes a half hour to 45 minutes. There's different presenters every day. That goes on 7 days a week. And so you get a different flavor from each one, and it's really a good way for yourself to learn the, quote-unquote, the lingo of what's going on.
Right.
Because everybody gives a different flavor, but it's the same message. And
now,
go ahead.
The amazing thing about this is, to me, this is a perfect timing for a time as disaster is about to strike. Because whenever the governments are pushing, like Obama and the people that peppered him, are pushing to do an air campaign in Syria, and Russia comes back and says, they're going to turn Syria into Stalingrad for Erdogan, which is Turkey that's supporting the bombing of the Peshmerga forces which are fighting ISIS. So Obama tries to pretend he's actually on the other side trying to fight ISIS when he's actually supporting the Turks that are bombing. The only ones that are successful which are the Peshmerga forces. So that's how important this is, that people realize this is literally a God-appointed time for people to get involved with Carrot Bars. Tell some of the success stories of what people have done. Michelle is joining us, so she's going to be here for a little while. That's good.
Well, hi, Pete.
All right.
I didn't really have a choice. I'm getting too many phone calls on the other end. I'm saying call into the radio show. Don't ask me.
Yeah, 800-259-5791. So tell us why you see it, because you've been at it 2 years now. It's such a great opportunity.
May I interrupt?
You may,
I'm only going to be here briefly.
Yeah, I've got the microphone turned over toward you. So.
Pete?
Yeah.
Hi, Pete. Hi. How are you?
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Fantastic. How about you, Michelle?
I am wonderful. Perfect, in
That's
fact.
great to hear.
I think she's even more perfect, not only for Carrot Bars, but our granddaughter is going to arrive tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So
Perfect in God's eyes, Pete.
Yeah.
Amen.
After my sins are washed away, of course. I had a call. I had a number of calls here today. Last one is from Henry here in California, and he wanted to know if there's a way to purchase the Carrot Bars by using a check or a money order.
Right now, there is not.
Okay.
Carrot Bars it's a German company, and they don't have systems in place to handle all the different types of checks and money orders that can come from different jurisdictions.
Now,
and it takes so long to process that, and no certainty that the funds are going to be good from the jurisdiction it came from. That's one of the
I have an
reasons
alternative.
they do not accept Bitcoin right now as well.
Right, I have an alternative. What if, for example, someone sent us a check and we processed it and cleared it, which would take 4 or 5 days, rather than trying to send it to Germany, and we purchased the Carrot Bars for a person that had a check because they sent a check to us and we cleared it and actually made sure that it was good?
You can certainly do that. One of the interesting things about Carrot Bars, of course, is they don't care who submitted the funds as long as the funds are good. So
in other words,
you had a friend,
That's an
friend that
answer.
had a credit card or a debit card or something like that,
Right.
and they were willing to let you borrow it or pay for the funds and then have you pay them back, that's certainly a way you can do it. And just like you mentioned, Dr. Bill, you can have somebody pay you with a check or money order and use a corporate credit card, if you will, to purchase. No problem with that. As long as the funds are good, Carrot Bars is going to be fine.
Thank you. The other question, Pete, was from Keno in, I think it's New York, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And Keno's doing really, really well, Bill. He's getting this one and that one, and everybody he's running into. I think he has his own little business over there. But his question, he's running into problems with people having debit cards, although his debit card, he said, went through fine. He's got a couple of people he's trying to input this week, and he's made 3 different attempts, and even though they called the bank and the bank said, everything was all right. What's your suggestion?
It's not necessarily a carrot bars issue. It's more from the standpoint of the various credit card houses. Debit cards are more difficult to process because it is a debit system versus the credit system, where they're extending you the ability to use credit. It's really hit and miss at this point, but the biggest thing I like to do is tell the people to call the security and fraud department with their card provider. That's the phone number at the back of the card, and tell them they're going to be making an international purchase. Give them the pad the number a little bit. Give them a ballpark figure. So, for instance, a silver package, I think, is right around $430 U.S. If you pad that and tell them it's going to be less than $500 U.S., you're going to pad it enough that should go through. And that also happens to be the approximate threshold that the credit card companies typically will reject anything that they weren't aware of. And so you want to call the card provider and have them on the phone with you as you try and execute the transaction.
Is that possible to do with the bank? I know you can with credit cards. You can get the bank to stay there with you?
Yeah.
Just do a 3-way.
Yeah.
Or have them on your cell phone and landline.
So you got solutions for both issues now. Stay right there, Michelle.
Pete.
Don't go away. We'll be back with Pete. Your question, 800-259-5791. Arthur had some questions earlier, which I think is really good as an SEO marketer. Henry as well, and our others that Michelle popped in. And we'll do that impromptu on Tuesday and Thursday, first hour when Pete is on. I want you to expand this website, carrotgroupteam.com, and the one time and the other very tiny charges to try to help people to explain the business to prospective leads. This is a system that's going to take a lot of headaches of explaining a lot of details of how the system works. It does a better job than the main Carrot Bar site, which basically allows you to buy products and follow your dually downline and all the other things that Carrot Bar does. But in terms of marketing, this is an amazing website with minimal cost for people to help them to take their prospective leads and say, I'll plug you in here, and they'll give you all kinds of information about answering virtually every question they'd have about the business. How does it work, Pete? carrotgroupteam.com.
Well, as I'm describing that, let me first say that as an affiliate, to grow your business and start generating duplication, if you will, of people that get enrolled and people that sign up for a free account and turn them into other affiliates that are building a business and ordering gold, our business is first to show people, and this is what we do. We show people how to set up a free gold saving account. And every time we refer somebody that does that, we're going to get a commission. The second thing is as an affiliate, we want to show people why we are saving gold first and not last. And so we want to be able to generate a consistent message no matter who you are, and be able to plug people into a system that when they drop out the bottom end of that funnel, if you will, they have enough information in hand that they can make an informed decision whether they want to move forward with Carrot Bars or not. And so the system does exactly that. It's not lead generation, but it is a funnel system for leads that you bring to that system to give them all the information they need, or at least enough information to either ask more questions or say, no, I'm not interested, or yes, I want to move forward. And so there's two systems that work. One is a one-time cost to set up some effectively replicated pages, that you can use to refer people to, and then you have to do the work of doing follow-up with them to make sure they got into that system to learn more. And the second is a little bit more automated. It's designed to be a systematic approach and funnel, if you will. And when I say funnel, as you know, everything that comes through a funnel starts with a wide top and narrow bottom, and it's meant to filter people out. And that's what we're doing. We're sifting. And so we want a system that's going to give people the information that they're asking along the way. And this has a system of autoresponders and that send out emails on a regular basis to keep people you plug into that funnel system fresh with information and enough that it's giving them answers to questions that might be arising for them. You still have to work at that, of course, but that's the nature of any business. If you don't advertise and tell people you're out there, how are they going to know your store is open for business? You don't expect a shoe store to open down the street and never advertise. They're not going to get too much further. You can do a referral system, of course, but you have to have some form of advertising, letting people know that you're there. And so that's what Carrot Group Team is all about. It's so full of information. It's got everything from archived messages from either webinars or phone calls to scheduled phone calls that go through training and information where you can ask questions in real time and get real time answers, and they're at various times of day and various locations. And so that's really a big thing. And
now,
so these are ways that you can generate traffic and bring people to effectively the same information and kind of get yourself out of the way of your own success.
Yeah, in other words, you can actually train them up so you don't spend 80% of your time trying to explain the details of the business. This does it for you. The next website is carrotbarevents.com, and I'm looking at the page, and it's got 13 because the 13th today, which is likely not the Friday the 13th, but Wednesday the 13th. It says Carrot Group Success System Training, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Is that Central Time? What time zone is that listed?
I believe that's, I'd have to check. I think that's Central Time, if I'm not mistaken. It might be Eastern, actually, because that's what they usually refer it off of. Maybe
Eastern Time. So it actually tells you events all the way through the rest of the month, so you can see these specific events. This is amazing to have this all available. You can select locations. It says select location, select view month, week, day list today, and go to a specific date. You can actually see all the information. Then there's the carrotbarswebinar.com, which literally will actually give you a webinar live that'll explain live support training and presentation webinars. Now, the lady that was you mentioned about a week or so ago that had literally started her Carrot Bar business 1 year ago, and she had literally downlined with 1 year hard work 17,000 people. That's pretty remarkable, isn't it?
In 1 year, that's just unheard of. And
obviously, she used these and other tools in order for her to be very successful, to replicate herself. And because we know the math is, if you sponsor one person on your left and right leg every month, and you commit to buying 1 gram of gold per month, and the same with all the people below you, 2 to the power of 12, which is 12 months, is 4,096 people under you. That's a lot. 4,000.
That is, you're on a way to a bus ride in heaven, so to speak.
Right. Well, we're accelerating considerably faster than that. We've been at it a month, and we're orders of magnitude faster than that. And what people need to realize, we're going to place people under you. Besides you building your own business by telling your friends, relatives, business partners, we're going to be putting people under you too. So our pipeline of people listening to Nutrimedical or want to just get in because they know that this train is leaving the station, and you're going to do very well financially. Plus, it's a whole new replacement economy. Right now, it's not just buying gold. You're not just saving gold. If you want to save gold, for example, get 1/10 of an ounce or 1 ounce gold coins, which are easier and more portable than silver, or you got to buy silver if you don't mind lugging it around. And I tell people that's fine to still have that, but when you buy gold currency, it contains a value that when the vendors start accepting the value at or very close to the value of the carrot bars, what it means is you're actually buying a currency that has gold in it, so it can't be replicated or fractionally reserved, can't be borrowed against, in other words, to create a carrot bar bank, if you want to call it. And it allows us to set up a carrot bar bartering system where people can actually create carrot bar value to buy other goods and services anywhere in the world. That's going to be pretty amazing. And what it'll mean is that when vendors start taking carrot bars, whether it's an airline or Amazon or a grocery store or clothing store, you're going to actually be able to create, a income stream even from your carrot bar business, go to your carrot bar wallet and actually purchase those goods and services right away, even before the bartering system. And when that happens, people will actually be able to create. For example, I told my dentist, Jeffrey Curbs, I said, let's say you have uploaded after being certified that you're a great dentist and you have customers that have purchased using carrot bar currency and 5,000 points, and it's 500 points to get a crown, a zirconium crown. What people can do then, they can actually buy or sell other things. Maybe they sell turnips or chickens or provide, carpentry, and they have enough carrot bar points that they can actually then purchase that dental care with their carrot bar currency and bartering, which means they can literally employ themselves and create a velocity of money by literally having the capacity. So, for example, the way you'd rate a country is you could have an actuary go in and say, hey, this country can produce so many, cubic, hectares of corn and so much electricity and so much intellectual property because of the universities and so much engineering. You can actually quantitate it with the right actuaries and say that's the credit this country could create from its goods, services, and intellectual property. Pretty amazing, eh? Completely different system than any...
and that's the way we need to go.
Yeah, and carrot bars, to me, is a phenomenal business. Just like Nutrimedical is the peak of getting wellness. You can only be a physician to get our advanced nutraceuticals that are the most designed and most advanced in the world. I have the most advanced technology for diagnosing with QRMA, bioplasma NLS, and functional medicine testing. But now we have the solution for the finances of the world. This is an amazing opportunity. Easy to get involved with, very little cost. We will help build it with you. And now all these new websites train you. What could you do that could be more of a great